Hey, this is Sean Clark from Horror's Hollow Grounds and the Daily Collection. I just want to give a shout out to Rob Novelli and my good friend Bo Cooper from Hops and Horror. I believe they're going to your house today.
They're here.
Hey, what's up? This is Hops and Horror. I'm Bo Cooper and Robert Novelli. Today we're standing in front of the actual Poltergeist house in Simi Valley, California.
Also known as Cuesta Verde.
We're going to take you to our next episode of Hops and Horror right now.
Welcome everyone to the third edition of Hops and Horror. We got Bo Cooper and Robert Novelli reviewing one of our favorite supernatural films, Poltergeist.
That's right, Rob. We actually are living out here in Simi Valley, California, our hometown, and we just got back from the actual house used in the film Poltergeist, 1982 classic. This film opened up the doors to having people just say, wow, what the hell did I just watch? Because it wasn't just your normal slasher film. This film was starred Heather O'Rourke, God rest her soul. You got the great acting skills from Craig Nelson, and you got the mom, Jo Beth Williams, and you also got the sister who passed away, Dominique Dunn. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah, this has some household names when it comes to special effects, owned by George Lucas, this company, Light and Magic. You had Tobe Hooper directing, you had Steven Spielberg directing or producing it. And I think that when it comes to this film, I think it's one of the first mainstream horror films, as far as I can remember. People like my dad, my mom, and everyone that wasn't really into horror, they loved this film. And I think also it's because they had names attached to it like Steven Spielberg. It was an iconic supernatural film. In today's genre of films right now, I think the most popular films that you're seeing in the theaters are the supernatural films. And I think this is a homage to all these films that are out today, is one of the first and one of the greatest at that time.
Absolutely. People want to be scared, you know, and what a better way to scare people rather than just with knives and chainsaws, to have the actual living dead come back to life in spirit form in a suburbia neighborhood. You know, the Cuesta Verde neighborhood that was in the film was just a bunch of housing tracts that were planted and made over a cemetery. And it was something that, you know, you think of, wow, this could happen to anyone.
Yeah, it feels like our hometown, it is our
Right.
hometown here in Simi Valley. It gave that feel that, you know, it's just a normal family in the suburbs or whatever, and you know,
The
like
dead
you said,
come to rise.
Yes. This is also one of those films for a horror film that usually doesn't have much money. This one had and doesn't always have the money to do all the right special effects. This one had tons of special effects. Great special effects, headed up by George Lucas's company. Steven Spielberg, you know, he's done, was it 2010 or whatever? And so it was done right. From the rotating room on gimbals and stuff, when the mom's sitting there flipping around the house,
Right.
to the puppet coming out, the clown coming out underneath the bed, wrapping his arm around Robbie's neck. The tree, the mechanical tree, all that stuff.
The tree was what got me at a young age. I'll never forget, you know, just like watching the first episode of Hops and Horror, we talked about Children of the Corn. That was the first film I ever saw, but the second film I ever saw that, you know, really got me scared and, you know, made me go, wow, there's a whole new world out there of movies that I don't even know what I'm watching, was Poltergeist. The tree coming through Robbie's window and sucking him out and eating him.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to explain that to a 4-year-old's mind or a 5-year-old's mind, I don't remember how old I was, but I just remember this sticking with me till an adult age, and then watching the film, you know, with my friends and family, going, wow, this is one of the best paranormal movies ever made. Like you said, it pays homage to all the films that are out there now that are trying to be like this. You know, when it comes to special effects but no one's going to do it better than, you know, George Lucas. And, you know, you got Tobe Hooper, you got Steven Spielberg, some of the biggest names in the industry all wrapped into one. Let me ask you this. So what's your favorite scene if you had to choose just one in this movie?
It has to be when Robbie looks under the bed and the clown comes out.
So you're a clown. You're a clown.
I'm the clown guy. I think that 80% of the people would probably agree with me. That clown is so iconic.
Absolutely.
In this film, and I think it's one of the reasons. There's a couple things that I'm scared of. Mm-hmm. One of them is clowns because of this movie.
Right.
And one of them is static on the TV, which you don't see much anymore because you got 24 hours or whatever.
Right.
But when I was a kid, when you woke up late and TV shut off at 12 o'clock and there's no more programming,
you don't know
you
what
see
the hell
that
happened.
static, and it reminded me of Poltergeist.
Right. You fall asleep on the couch, wake up to static. You don't know, like what happened, what's going on. Is it ghosts? Yeah, Heather O'Rourke. She was a beautiful little girl. Unfortunately, she passed away of a disease. Cardiac arrest, they said it was, but it was, I forget what the actual determination was. She died at a very
Gastro-tinnitus or
something like that, man. It's a shame, but what a great actor she was at a young age. I mean, you know, her touching the TV saying, "They're here." That's one of the most iconic lines, catchphrases of all time. I mean, that's something that people know that haven't even seen the movie. And then, you know, the devastation of Dominique Dunn. She got murdered by her boyfriend at a young age. She was only 22.
1982, the year that this film came out, she was strangled to death by her boyfriend.
The reason we all know this is there's an actual series going on Shudder called Cursed Films, and they're doing a whole series of cursed films, and Poltergeist was on there, you know, and it's a shame. But overall, it's one of the best movies out there, guys, in our opinions, and we really do enjoy it. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because sometimes you can watch some of these films, and it happens with all horror films. You can watch them at a young age, and you get that scare aspect of it. And then as you watch them, when you get older and you see things from a different angle, whatever. One of the things about Poltergeist that I noticed recently when I watched it is there's a lot of like little subtle humor to it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. With the guys coming in, you know, digging out the pool, digging through the spaghetti sauce, pulling out
eating other people's food,
eating their food, like pulling out the, you know, coffee and stuff like that, to the paranormal investigator coming in and like grabbing the chicken and stuff like that.
No request to eat.
Yeah. Just piling through a refrigerator and scrolling, you know, the meat scrolling across the counter, which is another great special effects and stuff. There's a lot of subtle humor, and then one of my favorite parts that I picked up on is when they first get there to investigate the house, and the father asks, you know, have you ever caught anything on film? And one of the investigators says, you know, I had a time-lapse camera, and over a period of 7 hours, I saw this little Hot Wheels car move 1 foot. And he goes, you couldn't see it by the naked eye, but it's pretty amazing. And he looks at him, and he gives him that kind of weird look.
Wait till you see this shit.
Yeah, and he opens up the door, and there's the whole room just going crazy, you know? Like, and he's so used to it, he's just like, check this out, you know?
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of little humorous parts in it I didn't notice when I was a kid, because, you know, you get the scares and stuff, but...
yeah, you rewatched it, and then you notice there's little cracks and stuff like
Which
that.
is why you always
and all the homages to Star Wars in there, too.
Oh, yeah. George Lucas, I mean, you know, owning the lighting, magic effects done in this film, you notice all throughout the room that there's Star Wars stuff and all that kind of stuff, Spielberg and all that kind of stuff. But great film. Watch it again. I'm sure most of you guys have seen it and stuff. But
if you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. I'm sure you can find it on Netflix, Shudder, somewhere like that. But guys, do us a favor. Do yourselves a favor. Support this film, because I guarantee you'll never ever think of another paranormal or supernatural film the same way that this film will bring light to you. So moving on to our favorite part of the series here, as always.
Yes, the drinking part. I love this. So today we got as an iconic movie, a classic movie, and a classic beer, Pliny the Elder.
Russian River Brewing Company. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
That's one of the most tasteful beers, I guess, for an IPA, right? West Coast IPA?
When it comes to West Coast IPAs, this was kind of what started it all. This is one of the most sought after IPAs at that time. Now it's
thank you, my dear.
Now it's a little bit more readily available than it used to be, but nonetheless,
but
still a great
beer. Pliny the Younger is the one that's hard to find, right? That's
Pliny the Younger is the one that's tough to find. I mean, that one they don't buy. Well, I guess they started canning it this year. Cheers!
Cheers to you! Cheers to the fans of Hops and Horror. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you check out Pliny the Elder. Check out Russian River Brewing Company up in Santa Rosa Valley. Check out Poltergeist. I want to say a special thanks to my good friend Sean Clark for giving us a little bit of a video clip showing
Appreciate that. That was awesome.
His production used clown that he actually owns, man. Sean Clark is one of my good friends, and he actually used to run Horror Hollow Grounds. He's the man. So go ahead and follow him, Malfunction, on Instagram, and support his daily collection YouTube videos. Hey, thanks, Sean, man.
And also, thanks to all the fans for supporting us and all the other
groups. We're just getting started, guys. We only got a couple followers on there, but I guarantee you, if you guys continue to support us out there, and you like beer and you like horror movies, every Wednesday, check us out on Hops and Horror. Here's to you.
Cheers.
Don't get sucked into a TV tonight.